So I will start my class, and today I will be talking about the third part of overview of metabolism. So with this I will share my screen. So today we will study about ATP as the energy currency. So I have taken this information from Stryer. So you know that in the commerce of cell metabolism, it is a common energy currency known as ATP is used. ATP is has considered to be the energy currency of the cell. So part of the free energy derived from oxidation of foodstuffs and from light is transformed into this highly accessible molecule, which acts as the free energy donor in most energy requiring processes, such as motion, active transport, or biosynthesis. So the active form of ATP actually is a complex with magnesium or manganese. So if you consider the role of ATP as an area energy carrier, you can say that we have to consider concentrate on its triphosphate. So ATP is an energy-rich molecule because its triphosphate unit contains two phosphoanhydride bonds. So if this is an ATP molecule, this is the adenine molecule over here. This is the sugar, and you have the phosphate. So this is the first anhydride bond, second anhydride bond, then is the phosphodiester bond. So this is a very high energy phosphoanhydride bond. So if you break this bond, you get a lot of energy released. So a large amount of free energy is liberated when ATP is hydrolyzed to ADP. So ATP plus H2O, AMP plus PPI, the free energy change is minus 10.9 kcal per mole. Similarly, if ATP is hydrolyzed to ADP and PI, you get minus 7.3 kcal per mole or minus 30 kilojoules per mole. So this is the amount of energy which is released when ATP is hydrolyzed. And this orthophosphate PPI and here PI, it is released. Under typical cellular condition, the actual delta G for this hydrolysis is approximately minus 50 kilojoules per mole. So the free energy which is liberated by this hydrolysis, it is harnessed to drive reactions that require input of free energy, such as muscle contraction or steps in the metabolic pathway. So if you look at this, these are known as coupled reactions or metabolically coupled reactions. In metabolically coupled reactions, say for example, we see that ATP plus H2O, ADP plus phosphate, and you have 30.65 kilojoules per mole energy released. And in the reaction, glucose plus phosphate to form glucose 6 phosphate in glycolysis, you have the requirement of this much energy. So this energy is used to do this particular reaction. So ATP hydrolysis is needed for this particular work. So this type of a reaction, this type of a mechanism, this is reaction is known as a metabolically coupled reaction. So the catabolism of ATP is used for the metabolism anabolism of glucose 6 phosphate. Then we have the use of reducing equivalents and cofactors in metabolism. What are reducing equivalents? Plus NADH, they are reducing equivalents. They are reducing equivalent. NADPH, FADH2, they are reducing equivalent. So they are metabolic equivalents. So what are the reducing? They act. How do the reducing equivalents and cofactors? How are they involved in metabolism? They act as activated carriers of electrons for fuel oxidation. So in aerobic organisms, the ultimate electron acceptor in the oxidation of fuel molecules is O2. So O2 accepts the electron and forms water. And of course, hydrogen with hydrogen and electrons, it forms H2O, water. However, electrons, they are not directly transferred to O2. Instead, fuel molecules transfer electron to special carriers like pyridine nucleotides or flavins, NAD, FAD, NAD plus. So similarly, where you have this nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, it is a major electron carrier. The reactive part of NAD plus is the nicotinamide ring. So this it takes the two hydrogen from here, this hydrogen and this hydrogen, and it reduces and forms this particular NADH plus H plus. It is not only a reducing equivalent, it also has got electrons inside it. And this electron is transferred in the electron transport chain to oxygen. Same thing which happens with FAD, this two hydrogen is taken away and this gets oxidized and this gets reduced. So what is the second function? It is an activated carrier of for electrons. So 4 hydrogen ions and 4 electrons are trapped in these reducing equivalents. So this particular compound, you find this CO and the R group, this ketose compound, that gets oxidized, reduced, and water is reduced out, and you get a reduced compound present here. For example, so the electron donor is the most used is NADPH. It is NADPH is almost used exclusively for reductive biosynthesis. So the third part is it is acts as an activated carrier of two carbon fragments. So acetyl CoA, it's a two carbon of a coenzyme A plus water. It forms acid. It forms water plus acetate plus CoA plus H plus, and this much amount of energy is released. Acyl CoA, acetyl CoA. This can be acyl CoA also. So this is an acyl CoA or acetyl CoA. It is an activated form of fatty acid in beta. If you remember beta oxidation, the inactivated form is the normal fatty acid. But when it forms fatty acid, acetyl CoA, the acyl CoA, this is an activated form which enters into the beta carboxy beta oxidation step. So this is one function of this. So This is the end of today's class. Since the attendance is very low, I am not going into much details today. I hope the next class you have a lot of attendance. It's very poor. So I'm ending my class over here. Do you people have got any questions?
টপিক রিগার্ডিং একটু কোয়েশ্চেন শেয়ার করে দিলে ভালো হতো, মানে একটু গাইড, মানে মেটেরিয়ালস তো এনাফ আছে, বাট এক দুটো কোয়েশ্চেন থাকলে ইজি হতো অ্যাকচুয়ালি বোঝার জন্য।
Anything in the under this world.
ওকে স্যার, ঠিক আছে, একটু কোয়েশ্চেন গুলো প্রোভাইড করে দিলে ভালো হতো
Yes,
স্যার।
questions you can get. There can be any type of questions. If you see the last 3-4 years question papers, there are lots of questions over there present. So if you look at the understand the concept. So মনে হয় না খুব একটা কঠিন question আসবে. So I will see if I get those questions.
Okay sir, ঠিক আছে।
Okay.